God told Jeremiah, "Up on your feet, go to the potter's house. When you get there, I'll tell you what I have to say." So I went to the potter's house, and sure enough, the potter was there, working away at his wheel. Whenever the pot the potter was working on turned out badly, as sometimes happened, when you're working with clay, the potter would simply start over and use the same clay to make another pot. Then God's message came to me. Can't I do just as the potter does, people of Israel? God's decree. Watch this potter. In the same way that this potter works his clay, I work on you, people of Israel. At any moment I may decide to pull up a people or a country by the roots and get rid of them. But if they don't cooperate and won't listen to me, I will think again and give up on the plans I had for them. So tell the people of Judah and citizens of Jerusalem my message. Danger! I'm shaping doom against you, laying plans against you. Turn back from your doomed way of life. Straighten out your lives. Straighten out our lives. We must be pretty bad people for that to be the message from God. You can join me for a moment of prayer. God, we come to you today with open hearts and open minds to hear your word, to be refreshed, to start anew. So mold us. Help us hear your word. Be with us. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable in your sight. Amen. Well, God speaks. God speaks often, doesn't he, to the prophets? Especially to Jeremiah and Isaiah, Ezekiel. We know that happens. And in this encounter, Jeremiah records it. And it seems like Jeremiah actually obeyed him. Up on your feet. Go to the potter's house. When you get there, I'll tell you what I have to say. The problem is that most of us, including me, when I say most of us, I include myself. At any time I say we or us, it also has me in it as well. Is that we don't like to always heed what God is saying to us. Right? How many of us have ever listened and followed God's voice in our lives? Not a skill testing question. One person has good. That's great. Well, it sometimes takes a lot for us, doesn't it? To heed what God is saying to us. But Jeremiah followed him and went to the potter's house. Now, in this beautiful story, it's a wonderful analogy, isn't it? The potter at the wheel. I understand that we actually have a potter that's a member of this congregation. I haven't met that person yet, but I have friends that are potters. And it's very interesting to see them shape these beautiful objects. Mugs and goblets and platters and bowls. Beautiful bowls out of that lump of clay. And that's what it is to me, a lump of clay. As a boy, I would probably pick up some of that clay and toss it at friends. Now, come on, we've all done something like that once or twice. But for the potter, it's artistry in their hands. And when they make a mistake, and my potter friends say, it happens more than once when I'm at the wheel. Often when I'm trying to create and I'm in a rush to get an order done for someone, and the thing goes all awry, right? And they have to start all over. They gather the clay back together. They got to put it back in their wet bucket, because that's what makes the water, makes the clay malleable, and so that they can work with it. And then they start again. And then they produce this beautiful thing, this beautiful object. Often, something that will come out and look like this. Now, this is made by a commercial potter. Of all my potter friends, I don't have anything like a jug from them. It's actually out of my mother's collection that she received as a wedding gift, according to her little note on the bottom of it, in 1948. When my mother died, and we were splitting up everything in her estate, I said, well, I'll take my mother's jug collection. She has glass jugs and pottery jugs, and jugs that she received with floral arrangements and so forth. I never thought about the symbolism of the jug and what it would mean to us. And it really means something to us in the United Church of Canada. When I was ordained, we're presented with a jug at the time of our ordination to symbolize that we are in service. Now, we used to also get the ewer that went with it, the basin, so that you'd be reminded that as servant, you're washing others' feet. I don't know why they did away with the basin, but at least I would get a jug. Well, this year at my ordination service, instead of receiving this, I received this. A broken jug. Now, there is a backstory to this. And the Friday night, the ordination service was on Saturday. Friday night, the executive minister said to me, Kerry, I've known you a long time. There's been an accident with the jugs. 1 out of the 6 that I'm presenting to the new ministers broke. Would you mind receiving the broken jug? I was disappointed, right? Everybody else got a beautiful jug. I don't even have all the pieces to it. Part of this fits together. There's the mouth of it that's missing. And during the time of the ordination service, they presented this to me, and then the executive minister for my region gave the backstory to it, and that I would accept it. She would replace it, even take me out for lunch to apologize. Well, that happened back in May. I still haven't got a call from her. I'm not going to wait too much longer. I've now moved to a different region, from the London area to the Toronto area. I think she's long forgotten me and what she told me. But it was one of my friends who laid hands on me during my ordination service, minister friend, who said to me, Kerry, you take that pot. You take that pot, that jug, that broken jug, for all of the symbolism that it represents for ministry. That you and I come to ministry as broken people. It was just like that little bit in this story that we're told by Jeremiah. Right? The potter is at the wheel, and the item that they're making doesn't work out. Instead, they remold it. But this reminds me that by coming here, by having a fresh start to our week, or maybe at the end of your week, and you're coming here to be re-energized, our brokenness can be left at the door. We can be remolded. We can be re-energized for our life in Christ as followers of Christ. Not only does the brokenness of this jug remind me of my brokenness, but it also reminds me that the jug can actually be made into something new. Often if I drop something like this at home, it doesn't happen too often, right? You quickly pick up all the pieces, and I put it in the trash. But if I was an excellent Dremel user, I could remake this. Maybe not, I can't remold it into a new jug, but I can make it into something new, right? With a Dremel, I could take it with the abrasive edge and grind all this down, and it could become another new jug. Maybe a sugar bowl, maybe a candy bowl. I'm sure I'd have a lot of visitors if I had a candy bowl. Right? There are many things that we can be remolded, remade. It's like a redo on life. And that's what the story is in Jeremiah that struck me so much. And this clean slate, if you watch the promo video I did, as I looked at the screen, I thought, that's what we're offered every time in every day of our lives. We're offered a clean slate to start every day. God's grace, God's love in our lives is here for us, to open us, to see that all of our problems and our brokenness are forgiven. As long as we're ready to take and change something about ourselves. We're ready to become new each and every day. It's like that reshaping, remolding, reconfiguring, reusing any item that we have for a new purpose. For all the years of my ministry, this sits first and foremost in my office to remind me not only of my ordination, but how something that's broken can be reused, just as we can be, no matter how broken we are. Letting go of our past, sometimes we have to do that, so that we can be remade in the love of God. I think you might recognize the person in the middle. And I thought, great that she won yesterday. Wonderful. I feel sorry for Serena. She has 23 Grand Slam championships after all. Bianca was going after her first. And the age difference, wow. Must have been how Martina Navratilova, I can't get her name right. Martina Navratilova felt when she was always competing with younger players. But here's a story, and I thought an interesting picture with her parents. The backstory to this family that came here not many years ago from Romania to have a better life. That we welcomed an immigrant family with open arms. They got connected into the tennis scene. Now, Bianca was already a player in her home country, but they wanted more for her. Remolding, reshaping. In fact, Bianca wasn't even, according to the announcers in the sports reports that I listened to late last night, wasn't even a name that they knew. She wasn't even on the list of the top tennis players in the world a year ago. Look at what this young person has done. To remold, to redo, to follow her physiotherapist and her coach's advice to get where she is. Unbelievable. Unfortunately, I don't know their religious background, whether or not they even have a faith. Coming from Romania, I'm expecting that they would probably have a Roman Catholic background. Of course, in sports, we never hear that about any of the sports players, if they have a faith. Yes, sir? Did she? Okay, great. And I know she kissed the court afterwards, which they often do. But, so there would be a faith, very much a faith element, giving thanks to God. That's God's grace. From a year ago to now, you see how she's remade her slate. And her parents here in Canada. Very proud family today, last night. And I think as Canadians, we should be proud of her as well. And the opportunity that we give immigrants for a remolding and a reshaping and a redoing in their lives. And my clicker is paused. Technology is just wonderful. But it's also what else was in that passage from Jeremiah that I want us to focus on as well. Because God was also saying to Jeremiah, listen, I have something to tell you. And that's why Jeremiah went to the potter's house. Follow, and I will give you a new life. You will have a life that you just can't believe. That is actually the good news of Jesus Christ in our lives. Follow. I will show you a new life. A new life of hope, of the resurrection, of the life everlasting. And so, friends, today I ask in our discussion time, have you ever been given a clean slate in your life? Maybe you've been remolded, reformed, been a redo of something. You know, I made a big move when I left my corporate life to go into ministry. I had been putting off the call to ministry, as I kept saying to myself, and minister friends and other people said to me, "Are you sure you don't have a call into ministry?" And I said, if God's calling, I just let voicemail take it. I'm too busy. I'm too busy to take a call like that from God. And finally, I woke up and said, when a couple of my instructors, when I was doing some licensed lay worship leader training, said, "Kerry, come on. Don't you feel you have that call to ministry? We can see it." Sometimes you just need that kick in the backside to get you going, to go and investigate and look at the possibilities. So I open it up to you if you've ever had something like that, maybe in your life. If you want to share, not share, think about that. But maybe more importantly, if you have had something like that, what did it feel like? What did it feel like when God has been calling you or giving you a new opportunity? New opportunity. This is a new opportunity for me to be here at Kingsway-Lambton. I never thought that I would do ministry in the GTA. It was never on my radar. I was settled in London, Ontario. I've been there for years. Some people there would say I'm a fixture. And then I got an email from a member of the search committee with a phone number to call and say, "Come on, we want you to apply. We've heard about you." So from that invitation, then the wheels started to roll. But that was God's voice and God's grace acting throughout all that to bring me here to Kingsway-Lambton.